Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Paris Henriksen Show. Today's guest is a local Nashville powerhouse, Sydney Salati. Welcome to the Paris Henriksen Show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we literally just met through
Aaron.
like
10 minutes ago.
Yeah. So this is going to be fun because I love kind of having conversations with lots of people, but also people that I've just met because you're always finding out cute, fun, quirky things, but then also like finding out their stories. So I guess for the listeners out there, like what is your story and sort of where did it start? Where did real estate begin? And kind of what is it in the real estate market that you're doing?
My story is not like anything you've ever heard before. I was in healthcare when I first moved to, I was a bartender at South when I first moved to Nashville. Shout out to South, all those OGs out there. And I loved bartending. I always had a great time meeting people, getting to know new people. And eventually it got to that point in my life where I was like, okay, got to get a big girl job. Went and worked for a healthcare company and did that for, goodness, like 3.5 years. Was really good at it. It was sales. Yeah. It was on the phone. Did well. Really, truly loved the people that I worked for. The owners of the company were a dime a dozen. Like they're just, they were not a dime a dozen. Excuse me. I said that backwards. I like the owner's wife I still keep in touch with, but it just got to the point where I was like, this isn't it.
Yeah.
And the reason I went into healthcare was because I moved to Nashville to be a doctor in physical therapy.
Okay.
Originally. That was the plan. Yeah. Came to Tennessee, came to Nashville because it was the one place that there was 3 different options and that wasn't really heard of for a doctorate program.
Yeah.
And thought, okay, well, I'll just go work for this healthcare company until I'm ready to go that path. And then I just completely lost any desire to ever want to do that.
Okay.
And then I was in this position where I was like, well, what do I do? Like, I can't do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I had to learn the inner workings of a PPO network, which is like insurance. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, we're all screwed. Healthcare in America is not great. And I just didn't want, it was just very draining.
Yep.
So I had a girlfriend here in Nashville at the time, her name's Bailey, who took me out to lunch and she's like, let's just chat. She's like, I know you're kind of lost. I know you need like a little bit of guidance. Like, let's chat. And it was at the time I really appreciated that from someone when you kind of feel like you're lost.
Yeah.
So she goes, Sydney, I have known you for 4 years now. Like, I just really think you would kill it if you did real estate. So nice. I was like, you know what? I don't know what else I'm going to do. So started my license in, so I started the licensing process in 2017.
Yeah.
I was licensed for the end of the year and just was kind of all hands on deck after that.
Okay. So what was sort of the, we talked a little bit before about how you kind of fly under the radar a little bit with your real estate career and sort of what was that beginning journey like for you? Because I know a lot of realtors that I've spoken to and a lot of realtors that have also been on the show, they kind of talk about how those first few years were really difficult. Like, what were some things that you maybe learned, or what did you maybe even learn about yourself during that time?
I'm laughing because I think I mentioned this to you just like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I have really bad imposter syndrome because I don't fall in that category. Real estate was immediately great for me. It
awesome.
Took off. Like I was able to support myself by myself within a month of getting my license. Didn't have any help.
Kind of unheard of. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have any help. Just talking. I mean, I can talk to a brick wall. So just letting people know like, hey, I'm getting my license. And God bless the people that were my clients when I first started because I had no clue what I was doing, but Lord, I was trying.
Yeah.
And I look back on those clients and I'm like, I owe you a debt of gratitude. Should not have used me as your agent. I am so sorry. They all turned out okay. Everyone ended up doing great.
Good, yeah.
But it's just, it started out as just like one little one and I scraped by until I could get to the next one. And the first year to the second year to the third to the last year was insane. I mean, everyone saw what happened in the real estate market. So
Yeah.
it was the best year of my life. And this year is proving to be just as great.
Nice.
And it started with referrals. It started with friends. And then it turned into a relationship with a builder who ended up becoming my best friend.
Okay.
My separated at birth sister. It goes way beyond work, and I think that's really special. Not many people get to work with that person every day.
That's an awesome
and I
thing,
have been able to for the past 2 years. And growing with her and watching her just slowly increase in how well she does what she does has been great. Her design has gotten better. Like, she builds these stunning houses that I am so proud of her to even show to people. So it's really cool.
It works well.
Yeah.
So what is like because obviously, you know, the Nashville market has grown so much. Even I've noticed that in the last year, just kind of coming and going. What do you think is, and we talked about this earlier, how the brokerage that you're under is kind of like the mastermind behind the Gulch and stuff like that. So what is like how do you think Nashville's going to look in like a year's time when it comes to real estate?
It's not going to stop growing.
Yeah.
I know everyone likes to say, oh, the interest rates, oh, the prices, oh, this, oh, that. And like, yes, there are black swan events that are going to continue to happen. But what it comes down to it is like, we don't have enough housing supply. There is a ton of people moving here that need housing.
Yeah.
Demand. Companies are moving here.
Demand.
Weekly. Like, if you get on the Nashville Business Journal or the Post and just start reading, look at what Oracle's doing at River North.
Yep.
Those type of big investments within the city and even surrounding, like Springfield and these areas, there's just no way for it. We have too much space to continue to grow.
Yeah.
Hopefully it is done well. It's not going well, but hopefully we can figure out a better plan than what we figured out. But there's no end in sight, honestly.
Yeah. And how do you think that that's going to like impact what you and your friend do in terms of like the bill and stuff like that? Do you just see it kind of exploding, or do you feel like it's more just going to
comfortable for the most part? Like, I know a lot of people are like, bigger, better, more. I mean, we're really like, I think that with where she's at, she's got a lot on her plate. Like, the girl's building 20 houses right now.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And she's Superwoman. She literally does it all.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get to drive around with her and learn the process, because when I first started working with her, like, I knew how to sell a house, but the build process was
it's a different process. Yeah.
I mean, completely. It's just what you get told as an agent versus like actually applying it is very different. So it changes your perspective a lot when you're with a builder every day. Yeah, and it was almost like I got to shadow her and learn, and I still continue to do that constantly. But I think we'll probably keep up. We might actually not do as many the following years. Okay. But I would hope we just keep up with what we're doing. Ultimately, I don't see her slowing down, and I don't see myself slowing down.
Yep. Have you ever had sort of any like aspirations or anything to kind of like have your own brokerage, or you?
No.
No.
That is liability. I would rather not.
I love that, but I love how like open you are about that too, because a lot of, at least most of the real estate agents I know, they're always like, that's the ultimate.
Well, I think that's kind of what we're taught as kids. Yeah. Like, you're always supposed to climb some ladder.
Yes.
I think that was something that we had ingrained in us by like Gen X boomer parents. Yeah. You're always supposed to like achieve that next ring. Yeah. And I don't feel like I need to do that. I work for Steve Armistead, and the man is a genius. I'm surrounded by incredible people, like point blank. But he's a genius, and he's taken me under his wing, and he teaches me everything he can at all times. And I get to be a part of $3.2 billion worth of development.
Here in Nashville,
Granted, am I directly in the center of it? No. But I get to be in the office. I get to hear. I get to listen. I get to meet. Yeah. And though that's worth just as much. More than. And no, surprisingly, it's not just Nashville. We're building the Ritz-Carlton in Vero Beach, and in Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
And I think Austin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's kind of in different markets as well, not just the Nashville market. Nice. That's really cool. So kind of, I guess when you were talking before about your friend and the houses she's building and the ones you're selling, what is that like all over Nashville? Is it more like Franklin, Brentwood? Is it Oak Hill, Green Hills?
It's a lot of 12 South, Green Hills, Oak Hill, Forest Hill.
Okay.
We've got one in Westmead right now, and then one really cool one on North 2nd. And then she has a couple ones here and there. But I think moving forward, the trajectory plan is to stay on the south side of Nashville.
On the south side.
Just
Cool.
It's easier. Like when she's got a baby.
Way more convenient. Yeah.
And it's easier to not have to drive 35 minutes down the road. Yeah. To check on a house, because you have to be there. You've got to check in 2 times a week minimum, 3 times a week.
Yeah. You got to be there often.
Yeah, you have to be there, and it's hard whenever to go from the house in Westmead to the house over in on Battery. Yeah. I mean, that's a 25-minute drive just to go from house to house.
Each way, yeah.
It's a lot.
That's cool. So what are you grateful for in your life right now?
Beyond grateful for the people in my life. Yeah. I am blessed beyond belief, and not a religious person. Spiritual, but not religious. And I am truly, truly blessed with the people that have been put in my life. And I think that it was a really tumultuous time for me for like a solid 3-4 years of getting to Nashville. Okay. And like circled through a lot of friend groups, trying to just find my place. So I actually, when I met Kelsey, one of my best friends, I met in a job interview and found out that we lived behind each other. That's and cool. That was 6 years ago. Yeah. And she was just like my rock and kind of made me feel like I had family here. That's nice. And, it's grown to like my group, and like I've got my people, and I just have no idea what I would do without any of them.
Yeah, you've got that. It's nice because I think that like a lot of people, because I mean, even I moved, so many people move away from home or what they're used to. And it does take time to find that group of people. Like it's not like an overnight thing. And I think a lot of people expect to kind of move to a place and kind of find it within, the first couple weeks. No. And that never happened. Like I don't know of anyone that's happened to. And it does take years. And it's like, so I kind of always say to people, like, try and stick it out for as long as you can, because you never really know who's going to end up coming into your life. And I'm sure that's been the same for you of like,
oh my gosh,
you've had so many people come in like after you moved here.
Yeah, I mean, my boyfriend and I met 6 years ago just at the bars. Yeah. And he wasn't living here at the time, and just kind of back and forth. And Kelsey and I, of all people, of course she was there. We're sitting outside a tin roof. It was like just like a beautiful like Thursday. Good just during roof. The day. You're right. We'll never get too old for tin roof. I don't care what anyone says. You will see me there at some point. Feels like home, sadly. But we were sitting out there, and he just like walked by, and it's just that was 4.5 years ago. So we had a solid 1.5 years of just like bobbing in and out of each other's lives. I had no idea where we'd be at this point. Yeah. And Lord, like that man holds it down. So like I said, it again comes down to the people.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were saying earlier, just when we were talking, that he has a fitness facility, a gym, and you guys are expanding that now as well. And that's kind of grown. Like the story is pretty impressive. Yeah.
So he moved here, and he had a trucking company, and was, very unhappy doing that, obviously. And, once he moved here, he was like, well, I think this is the end. So that's about 1 year in our relationship, he folded up that started to downsize. We purchased, he has 2 Airbnbs, just him. Okay. I have one myself, and then we have one together. So we have 4 total. And we literally just like dove into that. Nice. Thank God we did when we did. It was like before prices lost their minds. Yeah. And during all of that, I mean, Austin's a big dude. Like, he's large. It's like 230, 6'2". Mm-hmm. And he goes to he's religious about the gym. The gym is life.
His life.
Yeah.
Nice.
So his buddies brought him one day and was like, hey, we're looking into this franchise. It's called ISI Elite Training. There's a bunch of locations in North and South Carolina. We want to expand to Tennessee. What do you think? And he was like, yep, all in. Sign me up.
Nice.
And that was a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. We've had the gym open for a year and looking to open 2 more locations.
Nice.
That's what we were doing all day today, which is why I'm at all my glory.
You look great. But that's cool. Like, it's expanded, you know, super quickly, and obviously it's probably going to expand even more beyond that. Maybe
that would be, I mean, the goal obviously with anyone that buys franchises is to eventually package that all up in a nice little bow and sell it to a private equity firm.
Yeah.
Like 90% of the people that buy franchises.
Mm-hmm. And that's his plan as well?
Yeah, but I mean, they're going to probably stay in it for longer than most would.
Yeah.
Because they love it. They're very happy with where they are, and we've got a great team.
Nice.
Again, people can't get over it.
Some people are great.
It's hard to find them, but when you do, it's special.
Yeah. So you said something before about how you're not religious, but you're spiritual. Mm-hmm. Has that always been the case, or is that something that's changed over time?
That kind of changed in time. I mean, I still like giggle like when I get on Facebook, because yes, I still use Facebook. It's a real estate agent's dream. Coming soon, forums, all the fun things. But I still like laugh like whenever like my Bible verses that I typed out came up. I'm like, oh, sweet Sydney. It's a different time. I mean, they're still true. Like, I'm not like knocking them, but I'm just like laughing because like there's not a day that comes in my life that I'm like Luke or John or whatever. That just doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Cross my mind. It's just be a decent person.
Yeah. Was there like an experience that happened where you went more into your spiritual path, or was it just...
I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know if the whole world needs to know what it is.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, God. I mean, psychedelics helped a little bit, too.
Erin is behind the scenes, guys.
What?
I said Erin is behind the scenes laughing. If you
I'm laughing because Erin knows the story.
Yeah.
So like I can't help but to not look at her and laugh.
Yeah.
It's just Erin knows my full story. Like
nice.
She knows all the things. She gets to call me out on all the things too.
I love that. Do you have like a favorite place where you like to go, where you feel the most grounded or the most kind of connected to you and who you are?
I just really like sound like a pothead. Just really like nature.
Yeah.
If I'm ever feeling overwhelmed, going on a walk, like in an actual like trees, like green really helps. Yeah. Like seasonal depression is real. Yeah. I get outside with blue sky and green leaves and you would have thought I popped a Molly. It definitely changes your perspective real fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a big thing. Like, I think nature is definitely powerful in a lot of ways. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily kind of like, some people do, but a lot of people don't think that it can shift that quickly, or a perspective just by kind of going out and being like, oh yeah, I'm under the sun, or, you know, with the trees. Not that there's a lot of green trees in Nashville right now, but there's still some.
They're coming.
They're on the way.
I got really excited. I was like looking at a tree. I was walking by a tree this morning and I saw like the little green buds popping up. I was like, yes, spring.
That's so cute. Yeah, I saw a blossom tree just up here the other day, kind of starting to like think about doing its thing. And I was just like, oh my God, it's back. Like, it's so fun. It's been cold here, people, okay? It's been cold for a minute.
This has actually been one of the more mild winters, if you will. The freeze sucked because now I have to replant every single one of my house's landscaping.
Oh.
Yeah. It turns out -20 kills laurels.
Oh. Yeah.
And hollies and everything else. It's just dead. So that sucks.
You gotta...
We didn't get any snow.
Landscaping day.
Besides like a nice dusting.
Yeah, a nice little dusting. That's true. I spent, a lot of this winter back in LA. So I was like, I feel like I escaped a lot of it. Yeah. That was cold, but there has been some cold days.
Yeah, but I feel like it's been tolerable.
Yeah, it's been not bad.
Terrible.
Yeah, It's not too bad. Do you have a favorite place that you like to travel to?
Unpopular opinion, I would rather be home.
Rather be home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, traveling's fine, like once every couple months. But ultimately, I just feel better when I'm home.
More of a homebody.
I'm very excited to have my house.
So you're building a house right now?
Yes, I'm building a house. Lauren is building it for me right down the street. Like, can't wait for Aaron to come see me all the time.
Is it going to be done soon?
It'll be done in July.
Okay.
And it's a historic reno that we took down to the studs and put an addition onto. So
that's cool.
We took it from like 1,800 square feet to 4,600 square feet, like psychos.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a big shift.
It's a big one.
Yeah. That's cool. What kind of, so like with it shifting, what kind of like interior or what kind of style does it have now?
Well, right now it has the style of wood.
Right. Yeah.
We're still in rough-ins, but I am hoping for more traditional. Like, I want a lot of trim. I want a lot of dark and moody.
Yep.
I spent extra on my windows to have the black interior.
Okay.
So, and we have like a big pool that's going to go out back.
Nice.
With turf and hardscape. So I just want it to be where everyone feels comfortable and everyone can hang out.
Nice little homey vibe.
Yeah, very homey.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that energy from you. It's like very homey, very like welcoming, and
I just want everyone to be happy. So
I love that. I love that. Do you have a favorite quote or a favorite saying?
The moon is still the moon in all of its phases.
Ooh.
I feel like that just resonates with me and always has.
Yeah. That's powerful.
Because it's not just kind of applies to everything.
Yeah. Wow. I like that. Do you have a favorite song?
Oh, Lord.
A favorite artist that's inspired you over the years?
No, I love music. Like, I listen to all forms of music. I do not discriminate against music.
Love that.
At all. So, like, I went through, like, this, like, really, like, loved rap. Like, rap. And that was all of like, the end of high school and then, like, sophomore year of college.
Yeah.
Just like completely tripped over my words. Love that for me. But then I went to like the more, no, I was rap probably up until farther than that. Wow. And then I went like super EDM. Like festivals were so fun for me. I thrived at festivals, just loved them. Then the being dirty and not having your own space
kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, I was over it. Yeah. Now I will listen to Morgan Wallen and like Hardy on repeat.
That's a good vibe.
Back to country.
Back to country.
Full circle. 15 years later, but we're here.
Nice. What's your favorite Morgan Wallen song?
I could listen to You Proof 100 times. And then I also love the new song that he just came out with. Oh, shit.
Is it something about tonight?
I gotta look it up. Hold on. It's gonna bother me because I could tell you almost every word to the song. I think it's his number one right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Last Night. You were right.
Last Night. Yeah.
I was like,
it's got night in it somewhere.
My friends will make fun of me. I will not know the artist's name, what they look like, the name of the song, but I will know every word to that song.
I like that.
I don't know how it happens. I think it's just I leave it on as background music constantly, so
okay. So it's
I listen somewhere in my head.
Yep. Was there has there been a TV show, a book, or a movie that has kind of inspired you in any way over the years?
Mark Manson's Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. The whole world needs to read that book and then reread it and then read it again.
Ooh, okay. What were your main takeaways from that?
That no one actually gives a fuck.
True.
We all care about
Solid point.
ourselves.
Yeah.
For the most part, and that all the emphasis that we put on things that are just not important.
Yep.
It's a great book. It kind of was the shift in my entire mindset in like 2016, 17.
Okay.
I went through a breakup and I was like, clearly what I'm doing is not working. And started like EMDR therapy and like got off all medication. Like I was on like an SSRI and I had a benzo and I had ADD medicine. Like I had everything. Yeah, and then I had never smoked weed in my life. Ooh, I got to tell this story.
Yeah, let's go.
I had never smoked weed in my life. And so Bailey was like, hey, you're trying to like do this mind shift change and like you still have a lot of anxiety not being on your SSRI. Like, why don't you try to smoke? And I was like, I am terrified. I'm going to end up in the hospital telling you I'm having a panic attack. Because my parents had always told me that it's terrible. Yeah. Like you will end up in the hospital basically.
Right.
And I believed them until I was 26 years old. And it was the first time in my life that my brain kind of shut off.
Yeah.
And I just was like, wow, this is what quiet's like. And that was kind of it was right before I started real estate. It was kind of the cascade of a new, different me.
Did it help the anxiety?
It does.
Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah, it does.
It's the SSRIs and what it did to my body was just like, I don't know how we give them to people. Like, it's really not great. I know there's purposes, like, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, I was gaining weight, didn't have a sex drive, was I was never in, like, a mood. I was never happy. I was never sad. I was just nothing.
Plateau. Yeah.
And it just was not great. It almost made me more depressed.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I got off that. Adderall was making me anxious.
Yeah.
Benzos were a crutch. Because, like, take a Xanax and whatever you're stressed out about no longer matters.
Right.
And I just didn't like that lifestyle. I was drinking all the time. Like, bad. Like, God, when I was bartending, I was going out 5-6 nights a week.
Wow.
An absolute animal.
Yeah.
Don't recommend it.
Yeah.
Took quite a few years off my life, but I think I've regained a bunch of them back.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. So the change and the transition was helpful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was constantly just like grasping for friendships and grasping to be a part of something and interjecting myself probably where like I didn't need to be and just not making great decisions. And a big part of that was just being in a really terrible, terrible place. So, you know, using medication, thinking that was going to get you out of it. And it just didn't. And the corporate world is just not for me. I'm not good at structure. Yeah. I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants, figure it out and make it happen.
Love it.
Like, you will not stop me. I will get it done.
Yeah.
But I mean, the corporate, the medication, all of it was just, it was draining me as a person. Like sitting in a white shell every single day with fluorescent lights and just wasn't it.
So what would you say to someone who's maybe in that position right now and looking to kind of make a change? Or...
If you're not happy, know you have options. That's the big one. I think a lot of people forget you have options, that you're not stuck. Yeah. That like, while you're stuck because it's scary. Yeah. You're stuck because you don't feel like financially you can figure it out. You can figure it out. It's hard, but you can figure it out. Eventually, if you can find what you're supposed to be doing, and if you can find where you're meant to be, it's not going to be hard. But like part of that is breaking like a social construct of what you think you should be doing. Right. And I think that's pretty difficult because that's, again, what we were told to do.
Right. And it goes back to what you said about structure, like them thinking that they need to have, you know, plan B, C, D, and E figured out before they've even decided to leave plan A. Yeah. And sort of having that, you know, rigid, because a lot of friends that I've, you know, had over the years or spoken to, and they've kind of transitioned to like the entrepreneurial side, and that kind of, I guess, segues us to our next question. But they kind of, you know, they're like, what do we do? what do we do?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you don't always have to have it figured out. It will figure itself out at the same time. You obviously have to know where you're going, but it will figure itself out.
Typically does.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, it's probably not meant for you.
If you're trying really, 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 really hard, like truly trying, and it's not working.
Yeah. Then it's not.
Probably not going to. I mean, obviously, what do they say? There's always an exception to a rule.
Mm-hmm.
There are exceptions. So, like, not trying to be like a negative Nancy, Debbie Downer, but like,
yeah.
Just don't let it be the detriment of your happiness. Don't let it be the detriment of your entire well-being.
Yeah. Don't let it take over.
A big part of it.
Yeah.
Because I just hate, like, I do have friends that do things and they're just so genuinely unhappy with what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know what the next plan is.
Right.
So.
Or they don't have it. Yeah. They don't
I hope
like
everyone is able to find my real estate. If that makes sense.
That's powerful. Yeah. Find they're happy.
Find their thing that makes them feel like, as hard as they work, like, I work my butt off.
Yeah.
But most of the time I don't feel like I'm working.
Because you love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's part of my person. It is my personality.
It is your personality.
Real estate is my personality type.
Yeah. What do you think you wouldn't be doing? What would you think you'd be doing if you weren't doing real estate?
I have no clue.
No clue.
I don't see another life outside of real estate.
Yeah.
Because real estate is so broad. Like,
right.
I could not be a sales agent. One day, maybe. I don't think I'll stop. I actually really enjoy selling houses. If it was just only a buyer's agent every day for the rest of my life, I'd probably go crazy.
Yeah.
But, like, I just wear so many hats. Like, I'm very, very thankful that I can do that. But I just have so many different hats that I just never get bored.
What is it about, like, the sale of a house that you like? Is it like getting to help the people find their dream spot, or is it just
makes
like
me feel
all of it?
So good.
Yeah.
To find someone a place that makes them happy, that makes them, like I said, I like being at home.
Yeah.
So, like, when you find somewhere that's home, like, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, I always find it fascinating. The first thing that a lot of people say about real estate is they're like, oh, you make really good money. And I'm like, that's not, like, I'm not in it for that.
Yeah.
I'm blessed that I have that from real estate, but I'm not doing real estate for that.
For that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just an added bonus that's facilitated a really, truly incredible life.
Yeah. And what do you do when you come up against other agents that are kind of in that mindset of money?
Make them my friends.
Okay.
And then diffuse as best as I can.
Diffuse. Yeah.
Like, I had one situation where I had an agent, like, freaking out over $2,000. And they're like, well, my client won't budge. And it was like a used car salesman pissed off that they weren't getting a sale. It was painful to watch. I was like, I'm really sorry for whoever your client is. And I ended up just being like, hey, I got it. I'll cover it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Go do what you got to do. Get the deal closed. Make your person happy. My guy's happy. Like,
we're good.
Let's just be done.
Yeah.
Because it's just not worth the fight most of the time.
Yeah.
There are times I will stand by my principles.
Of course.
But if it's worth it, if it makes sense.
Right.
Just not worth imploding a deal for small reasons, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I guess that sounds bad, saying that $2,000 is small, but
I think when you're talking real estate and the scale that you're probably selling on, it's, it's not a lot of money, essentially. And it does, that can, like you said, derail a whole deal. If someone's going to be...
If it's going to blow up, if I have to go and make a phone call to piss my client off, I'm probably going to do everything I can before I get to that point. They're not going to know what's happening.
Yeah.
Until they have to know.
Yep.
Yeah. I will put up as many coats of armor as I can to keep them from that. Because I don't ever want it to be a stressful situation.
Right. You want it to be
smooth,
peaceful. experience.
And I know that, like, I know what real estate can do for you long term.
Yeah.
Like, I know what it can build. I know what it can create. I know it's like the number one way to build wealth in America is real estate.
Yeah, completely.
And, you know, you can sit there all day long. Well, like, is it a good time in the market? Is it a bad time in the market? As long as you have someone who knows what they are talking about.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 in real estate, you're not going to lose. If you go into it conservatively, knowing exactly what your exit options are and having buffers in place.
Okay.
And you're fine.
Yeah.
Like, I bought my house during the boom.
Okay.
Like, when things were blowing up, but I bought it off market with a wholesaler through networking.
Okay. So that's,
my Airbnb, I bought it from a fire sale.
Oh.
So the investor on the deal had to sell it immediately.
Yeah.
So it was priced below comps, and
you.
it's one of the best investments I've ever made.
Yeah. So kind of, I guess, talk us through that process, because there's a ton of Airbnbs in Nashville, and like there is anywhere. But what do you think, like, I guess for anyone looking to kind of get into that space, what are some things that they can look for, or what is like the, you know, is there like any particular things that they should be looking for before doing that kind of a thing?
Airbnb in Nashville's gotten really tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The issue, like, I personally wouldn't, like, I know there articles have come out recently and it's like Nashville's one of the best Airbnb cities. I think that is a lie.
Okay.
I have Airbnb clients, so sorry. They know how I feel. I think that it is possible to still do very well with them if you have the means. Okay. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
Getting a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, getting a 1 or 2 bedroom Airbnb is fine. You're competing against hotel rooms. So
that's true. Yeah. It's
fine. 3 bedrooms, you're obviously going to do better, but they're still not catering to like the Bachelorette. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
And that's what Nashville truly, I mean, the thing about Nashville is whenever you come to Nashville, whether you're here for a Bachelorette or a birthday party or an anniversary, like you come with a crew, like you come 10, 15 people deep. So the 4 bedrooms are like really where you thrive. And to get a 4 bedroom, I think the cheapest one I've seen on the market right now is like $750, and you've got to put 20% down, and then you hopefully, best case scenarios, you find one that's furnished, so you only have like a month of startup costs.
Yeah.
Compared to like a new construction where you still have to put $30,000 into furnishing it.
Yeah.
Plus or minus. I mean, here's the thing. I say that loosely because you can obviously make a house look good for less than that, but at this point in the Airbnb market, it's so saturated that like you have to stand up above. Like the cream of the crop is finding a house that is a 4 bedroom within 2 miles of 3 miles of downtown, 2 or 3, probably 2, has a large floor plan, like not just like a tall and skinny straight up, and has rooftop deck, hot tub. You get those,
you're good.
Like, I know that there are ones in like right over here actually, that they'll do $190,000 a year.
Okay.
In gross.
Yeah.
And I know that people that can do 2, like they buy one side by side and they'll do $500,000.
Okay.
Like 2 4 bedrooms. They'll kill it every time. But again, that's a very large investment. To get an Airbnb on Music Row is 1.35. Or you have to buy the whole development, which is like $6 million, I think.
Yeah. So it's a process, but it's still,
it's incredibly, it makes a lot more sense than long-term rental if you have the means to do it. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Like long-term rentals are just kind of like little singles, and Airbnbs, if you buy them low and do them right, they're more of like a double action, triple action.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Do you believe in the term leaving a legacy? Or what's your take on that?
It's never really been something I've thought about.
Okay.
I mean, I know that like you're supposed to want to.
Yeah.
I don't have any kids yet. Maybe that's why.
Okay.
I want kids, but like
do.
just not there yet.
Yeah.
So like maybe that's why I've not put much emphasis on legacy.
Mm-hmm.
That could change, but like right now I'm just kind of taking it day by day, not really thinking too far ahead.
Nice. I like that. What do you think you would be doing for the rest of your life if money was no object? And would it be this?
Truly, if I had the skills, me and my 5 best friends would go buy 150 acres, line 5 houses up, and be homesteaders.
Okay.
I would have goats and cows and chickens and a garden, but I would probably kill the garden.
Not a green thumb?
I'm great at houseplants, but every time I try to grow something outside, I don't know why I can't do it. Really great at houseplants.
I can't either. It's okay.
It just doesn't go well.
It's not. Yeah, no. If you could sit down with anyone, past on or alive, and gain insight and inspiration from them, who would it be and why?
Oh, shoot.
And I've had so many different answers for this one, by the way.
That's such an interesting question.
Even Harry Potter has made it in.
I feel like I should like know the answers to these like the questions that everyone gets asked at some point in their life, and I don't really know. There's no one that like stands out that I'm like that person.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it would be like some type of quantum physics person. They would be something so off the charts. It wouldn't be like George Washington. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. No, you're like, I'm fine with that.
I feel like having a beer with Barack Obama would be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind playing golf with Trump.
That'd be cool.
Like, I mean, I think everyone has their place and their reason and their own knowledge to add to the world. I've never really gotten into the whole like identity of people to make them above anyone else.
I like that. Yeah.
I mean, I also live in Nashville, and I can't say I've ever been like starstruck. I don't know if I'm able to be.
I'm not either, so I completely get that. Like, everyone's like, oh, there's this person. I'm like, cool. How's it going?
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Is there anything else that you want to share or anything that you want to touch on?
I really appreciate you having me. This was a really fun experience. I mean, I guess I feel like so strange. Like this isn't something
It's not something you do. Yeah.
It's been fun.
It's been great.
I think it's really special that you get to interview all these different types of real estate agents. Like I think that a lot of real estate agents have a hard time realizing like we're all on the same team.
Yeah.
There's enough business for all of us.
Completely. Especially here in Nashville.
Yeah. Like, I think that there are so many incredible agents who they've all taught me so much.
Yeah.
And I look forward to seeing all of them grow. Like you even said, a couple people that I know that you've had on, like they're newer to their career, and I think they're going to kill it. And it's super exciting seeing them grow. Yeah.
Yeah. It is exciting. And I'm excited for even just the ones that I've met, and then like to see your stuff grow as well. And I think it's going to be fun. But it's been really fun. So thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll link to everything in the show notes as well, and some things we talked about today too.
Sounds great.
Awesome.